go one more for me.
One more that way.
Charging station.
We got that one. Put one out here.
Cool.
Okay,
That's good.
now we set up the next pick. So the good news, the picks, once you kind of set these to the height, the pick's not going to change much because you're going to set the depth. The only one you typically change is how red, if it's a small one, it goes there. If it's a big one, it goes here. So this is, I've actually seen these where I have to take these completely off. That flap's so big.
Yep, actually,
Generally, that's going to be really the only thing you mess with, and you might mess with your tension a little bit to give it more grip. If it's too easy, it'll just flip them out of the way, and if it's too tight, it'll just wad it up. So now we set up the other one. They're
Which
tricky.
is in the pot.
Oh, now we set these much trickier. So, this basically comes through. Yeah, remember that. So this is here, that goes up, it folds that one back and pushes that forward.
Oh,
This needs to come up, it's too low. So you don't want, and you gotta be just at the right spot to grab it. So this typically, when you set this up, this typically is the height and the angle of that. And you want it up towards the top. So this, we're gonna raise all the way up. We're just gonna take it to that spot. They're right here. And when you do this, you want it square. You want to make sure you're square to it. Occasionally, you will tilt them this way in and out a little bit, depending on what's going on. And then we may move it back if that right there is for that when you're doing the real small one. So that finger can flip up in there. When you get to the bigger ones, it has to move over systematically there. So we're going to take that. Going to hit that gap right there. Comes up. That's pretty close. We're going to try it there. So the other one, we need to do the same thing. Raise it up to that point, make sure it's square. I've already set the other height point and all that.
yes, all.
Oh, you've already brought the top to the edge.
Now, what we got to look at, here's the other thing. See this?
It can be tilted.
See how that slid out all the way?
Yeah.
You got to make sure that one slid out all the way.
Try this out.
Here, we'll set them side by side. That way you can see. So you need to make that one look like this, which is pretty close.
The thing is, I believe that one needs to be a little bit tilted because this one is.
Yeah, this one needs to, you need to loosen that one right there and kind of square it back up. And then that is all the way over, so we need to make sure that's all the way over.
You should move this area, right? Change this area.
Yeah, it's got to be all the way. And this is a little bit loose, so I need to tighten over.
All the way,
Yeah, all the way this way.
that's all the way this way already.
probably is, but we'll see. Yeah, right there.
Are we gonna put a sword?
So you know the little pick thing we're talking about? It's on the front of this to hold that flat down. So that's what this is for. You put that, you bend it, you stick it down there, hold that flat down as long as you need it.
This is the area that we're using for the long.
The welding rod. The long flex. Yeah, he may not have seen it.
Yes, you may have not. یه لوله های مفتول نازک داریم که میتونیم اونا رو بذاریم.
همونه که باریکه که دیروز
آره.
باید تندر بدم.
So possibly instead of using the sword, same as the sweeper.
Well, you're still going to have to use the sword when it comes to the plow and the bowl. You got to see where those line up where these are coming through. But I'm almost certain we're going to put those long rods on there to keep those down and flat so they don't try to flip back. Because if they flip back, it doesn't work. So when we put this on, we're going to try it back here. Yeah, we're going to put another bar in. I want to go through right here. Put another bar in. Let's put it back here so we have a bar. Move that one. Oh, move your other hand.
This is the responsible one.
Right there. Just move that.
Okay, I
Perfect. We'll put it right there. I need that. So again, we're going to set it off the deck, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. And then you want to run it. You want that finger to pick up that. You want that finger right there on that side. Now I haven't seen them, but they have these fingers that they're twisted. And so it grabs that right there flat. You put them there at the corner, but you put it right there flat, they give you more room. But I have found if you're closer to this, the more apt you are to make it work. But you'll get some jobs, but that's just a different angle. You don't have that relief in there, just straight. So you're gonna have to take those fingers, get the pliers, and put that twist in there so it actually, instead of coming in here, it comes in like that. It's flat. If you want it flat for the pull down. If it's straight, it'll cause tears and dents and stuff like that. So I think mine's in the right spot. Yours is pretty close. All right, hold on.
that's right.
Yeah, let me jog it a little bit and I'll get closer. Here we go.
Let's jog it.
This one's good. That one, bring it this way about another millimeter. There you go. Let's try that. We'll try it there. So now we've got drive rollers. I'm going to put another drive roller out here to hold this flat.
Although we haven't put the glue yet.
Glue's going to be happening down here.
proposal. آها بعد جلوی تو نشد. اه.
All right, so now we're gonna jog it and see if it does what it's supposed to do.
I believe
This is where-
we may get into trouble by folder. Shouldn't it be lower by any chance?
No. That height has to be. That's what's like when you're doing a crash bottom. When he was talking about how many sheets to take it set up, this right here is what's going to eat most of your sheets, getting these just right. Because just because we make it jog and do it, don't mean it does it at speed.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's working. That's
Okay. So no, that's where we get another roller in here. Because once that comes down, we want that down and trapped by that, so it'll hold it down. So we're going to get rollers in here to catch it, get the roller to hold it down, then we get the finger to keep that folded down. So we'll have to put the fingers in, we'll have to put the rollers
roller
in.
down.
So we want rollers in here right now, right there. And in this process, we want to see where we want the rollers for the next process that we're going to do.
quick question. This one,
Uh-huh.
see, it's breaking in this portion, like it's not wrapping. You see the breakage? Is that اونجا قشنگ کار
آره
شد؟
اون خوب نیست. It's not good time.
You see? Yep. Shouldn't it be lower or, I mean,
We'll have to see. We could lower it. That's what I'm saying. That there, but we know we're in the position of
yeah,
set, so
that's
we could
correct.
go down.
we can.
So
No.
we gotta watch it. If those are too
Oh,
low,
in a bus-
then they create a bigger issue because then they start making it want to tear it.
Yes.
Watch out. I don't know if that's where we want it, but we'll start. So. So now we're looking at what we want it to do in our process. So we've got all these done. Okay. So now our next process, we want this
Fold it
to
right.
fold over. So that's our next process. So we need to see, we want to get out here and get into the folder for holding it down. Now, a couple ways of doing this. I might be able to put the sword right here, put a 3 right here, and actually put the plow in and all that stuff. So I'm not sure yet. We got to kind of figure that out. So
That
what we're
one is-
talking about is,
That one is not straight.
Yep, we are
It's-
gonna work on it.
I'm telling you, we're going to change those a bunch. Because this right here is what's going to take the longest to fine tune. So we're just looking to make sure we can get it to do what we want to. Then we'll load this stuff up, then you'll run one. We will be adjusting that
Okay.
a lot. So on this side, and because we're going to start the plow over here. So move that one out a little bit. Take it back out of the way. So our first plow is basically right here. So we may take this one out, put a 3 right here so we can get the plow and everything in here and the hold down. That'll help hold that down. The plow's going to do this. We'll have to put the pick, it can go through, because the next process is that, to get that over. So we can keep going down. We're just going to keep burning rollers, but we may put a 3 right here so I can actually start the sword and the plow right here. So maybe. Huh?
You're saving so much space that we can finish the crash box, as you said, by the half of the machine.
Like I say, you don't have anything going on right now. Your crash bottom, straight line, all that stuff can be done in one section.
Yeah.
That's how this machine's built. You can do all of this in one section.
We can set
where you
up
get
the-
into the crazy with that thing. That's a couple of sections because that's a lot of stuff going on. But that's what I'm saying. Unless you're doing that, you can probably, if you can get the rollers just right, you can get your
Crash
crash
box
here,
over.
and you can get your straight line down
Yeah.
there. That's what I'm saying. That
And we can record everything, so later down, if you want to do it again, you can just pile it up nicely.
yeah. And that way, raise them up, rollers getting it through, drop it down, raise them up, drop it down. Just depends on which one you run, and you've got those. Because literally, you have 2 machines worth of stuff, and it's designed to do all these in one machine. So really, you're going to wind up with one that's just doing transport half the time,
Yeah.
unless you're doing some bump 90s. But even then, if this was being, so if you were doing this, and we were doing the crash bottom and doing the plowing and got everything in place, doing this stuff, and then you did, so you could come out like this on this table, you could still do a bump 90 and put tape on that if you had a tape head. Should still be able to do it all in this one section.
Do we have the tape dispenser?
You don't have the tape. You would have to buy that. That's that option and the rotator, I think, are the 2 options this machine didn't have.
Yeah, but we have 90 rotator.
Yeah, you got 2 90s. So literally, you could
Rotate.
come in here, come in there, come in there. You could reverse rotation. So you can. You just have to set them, spin it, because when you get into the 6-corner box, the stuff you guys were asking about, it has. If you don't have a back flipper to fold that glue flap up, you can't do that. The only way you can do that is do the front side, completely 180 rotate it, figure out a way to keep the glue flaps down, fold the other ones back. Then you can glue all of it and fold it and close it. But you have to do a complete one. And that's typically what the rotators are for.
And we are not going to use this option.
Don't need air at this point on anything you're doing. Until you get into that buckle plate, or if we run out of these, I could use air to do these. I can't use air to do that, but I could use air to do that.
Is that strong enough to just push it?
You just gotta get something there so you can get it, and then that little arm folds it back.
Oh, we put arm, then it.
Yeah. So like,
That's cool.
depending on like,
Yeah.
grab me one of those single rollers down there, the little single. So the advantage to this is if you put this single roller on that way, and where that air's at, you're coming here like this, and you have that air right there. You can, it'll get right there, it'll blow it up.
Oh,
Then that roller will take it and just roll it over the top of it. So you can, it's got to be just right, but that can be done. And speed wise, like you get into the really high speed machines, they don't like running these because you have a spring, it has to get up, it has to come, it's a mechanical function that has to happen. They would prefer to run air because that air, there's no, you just turn it up, move it forward a little bit, there's no mechanical function to it. So you can run faster on the high speed machines using air than you can that finger, because sometimes that finger can't get back down fast enough. And the
Yeah.
air's just as fast as you want to run.
اسمش بهتره نسبت به
نه
باز.
اگه
سرعت
سرعت
بالا
زیاد
بخوای
باشه
بری؟
اون نیست، بعد با اون بزنی.
آه، یه
چون
باده
میگه این
بزنی.
مکانیکاله، تا فنر میره بالا بیاد پایین
طول میکشه.
کار طول میکشه، ممکنه سرعتش نکشه، ولی هوا تپ 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 میزنه. Okay, now the next step that we spoke, you said you want to have this three.
Yeah, I need to get a different sheet.
اونجا هم یه چند تا داریم.
I've tore too many components off this. I need a sheet. You're gonna have to.
Here, here.
You're gonna have to take it from that section back.
خیلی ماشاءالله زور داره.
اوه، خیلی سفتش کرد.
I may leave it there. It just means the thing. It just means you have to figure out a way to hold this down a lot longer. And if I can go from here, short little hold down, right underneath or right into a plow, this side I'm gonna have to run a plow and probably a pick. That side, we don't have to right now. I can just stack rollers and hold that down, but I'll put a long pick in it to hold it down all the way through this. So this is where you gotta get creative.
Because I'm not familiar with the gluing section, the section of this. When you mentioned about gluing, I recall we had it on a piece of, on the first one where we had the glue. I know about the top portion. In these sections, where do we have the glues?
Depending on where it's at, I'm not gonna shoot it on this side because it's too hard to hold down. I'm probably gonna shoot it on this side. So the glue's typically gonna be right there to hold that, which puts that,
Then we're gonna
right
put
there.
on the flat ones.
and then we'll shoot. Odds are we'll shoot it on the flat one. Odds are, because that sword width is gonna let us do it, so. Grab the sword. Yeah, that's the sword I have on that side. That's this sword. So when we drop this sword in there, for this side, when that sword goes in, it's going to be just that side of that score. So it's automatically going to hold that down, which gives me the window to shoot my glue right there. So I can put the head in here, shoot that glue, this will fold over on top of it, everything will be happy. So we will more than likely shoot glue on those. Because on that side, turn that sword around. So that one's going to be like that, holding that down right there against that. So that's basically going to be like that right there, holding it down. But these are going to be staggered. So this is going to be down there, this here. I can't do them both at the same time because I can't get rollers in there to drive it. So we got to do this one, then that one. That's the advantage of the belt. I can do them both at the same time on the belt because the belts are driving. I don't have rollers to fight with. So I'm going to basically leave this one like this. We're going to set up the plow and everything over here to start moving this one. So just lean that up against the side for now. So I want to get the long plow for this side. And we're basically going to set up right in here somewhere for that.
Not the
Other one.
other one.
That one and that one.
We had
No,
another
yes,
one.
John,
right
John.
there. Oh.
So hard.
Huh?
Hold that for me. Hold that.
Oh, sorry.
So again, this stuff has to clear these rollers before it starts transitioning. So my best case I need to go forward. Can't start rotating. I need to move it damn near where it's at. So I need to go.
Let me take this out of the way. Yep. Almost it has the
Yep. So and then we're clear. I might be able to back it up one. Yeah, we can back it up one. We'll start rotating right there. So I need a clamp here. We need to put that bar here.
Okay, for this one, we will just put it again to the high
No,
portion.
no, no. This one we don't do that. Remember? Only
Just
the
for
rollers.
rollers.
Only the rollers.
Yeah.
With this one, we will just move them with these.
We'll raise it up and get it kind of close and we'll bounce. We already know we got 4 on them, so I'm
This
not
is
worried that
balanced.
it's like them where they had 50 on it and we had no adjustment. Well, all right, tighten.
We put the paper underneath.
Yeah, we're good. Once you do it a couple, you'll be able to visually tell. Now this, we've got to get somewhere in here, but again, we can't be under the roller. So we can move forward, or I might be able to go on the front side of that bar. Yeah, so we can be on the front side of the bar. That'll help keep it straight, keep it straight to the final fold. So that's pretty much where we want it. So we can have that one, turn it around. I typically tighten that up first, then tighten this up, and that way I can visually slide it back and forth where I want it. Then I can lower this down. So technically, that's where it needs to be. Now, we're gonna have to set up the pick to keep this thing folded forward as it goes through this transition. So that's where, I don't know if we'll be able to use that. I'm gonna try, but I don't know that I will be able to. So we may have to put one up over here, angle down in there that actually helps that hold back so it keeps it trapped. Because once it gets to here, it's trapped. It's not gonna fold back. So I just gotta keep it pointed forward to about right here. So that's that one. Now, we're back into the roller board. Now we gotta get rollers on this to get this transported through this section.
Nice.
So we got to start putting rollers in here to get us there.
Like the 6, yep, 6.
This one, because it's so long, technically we could probably drop a 10 in here.
Oh.
Possible. So we can take
We can take this whole section
possibly.
and move it.
So we loosen both of these.
Okay.
Go back. Let's just drop them in right there. if we
Okay,
can.
one moment. I just need to take out these ones out of the arm bay.